Hi, I'm Adam and welcome back to First Man Photography. Now in today's video we are going to, foolishly perhaps, travel 1,000 miles for one photograph. So, let's go. Before we get going today, this video is sponsored by Lexar. If you need fast, reliable and high quality SD cards, look no further than Lexar. Right, to start off the video, we are going to travel the first half of the 1,000 miles, 500 miles north to Scotland. So I'm going to save you that journey and we're going to go straight there to an astounding landscape. So, I am very far north in Scotland and have been directed to this truly remarkable place. If I just spin around, look at that, that is just unbelievable. This little spot that I've found is just fantastic. It's on the shore of this small tarn, I think the Scottish call it Lochan, and these reeds are just forming the perfect piece of foreground interest to then lead me in to those autumnal trees, the little copse of trees just there, which is looking fantastic, then up into those mountains, which is just being perfectly brushed by those clouds to really make this work. Now, I'm still probably a couple of hours away from sunset, but I think it's probably the perfect time because the sun is coming from over there and those mountains are now just being side lit. And I feel very fortunate because up to now today it has been horrifically wet. I've been taking refuge in the car and wow, look at the sun hitting the peaks of those mountains. If I can get that on these ones here, that is going to be extremely exciting. So let me just talk you through what I have here. So, like I said, the foreground is the water and the reeds, the midground going up towards that copse and then the mountains in the distance. That's what I'm going for. And what I'm trying to include is just the left-hand side of the mountains and the reeds, just leaving a little bit of breathing space on the left-hand side of the frame to allow those mountains and those reeds to breathe and balance the image. And then to the other side, oh, the sun's coming around now, look at that. The sun's coming around and I want to give the same sort of breathing space to the right-hand side of that copse of trees. I'm then getting a bit of the sky and oh, it's coming good, I'm just gonna have to fire. Now, what I'm doing with the camera, with the settings, is around 35mm to include those things I've just mentioned. Oh, the light is coming, come on. I'm then bracketing. I have, oh, the light's just improving all the time. Sorry, it's too exciting. So I'm bracketing because there's some very bright spots. So there's a big dynamic range, but rather than combine them in post in a HDR, I'll probably do some luminance masking, because what I'm also doing is using a polarizer just to take a little bit of this bright sheen off the water. And then also got this 6-stop filter on here because I want to just smooth the water out a touch, but I want those reeds to be sharp. So it may be that I have a go of both. So let's do one with the filter because that light's just improving all the time and it's looking good above now as well. Let's have a look at that as it's taking a few more seconds. I'm just desperate to see it. Oh man, that's so nice. There's some lovely colour in there. I am just going to take the filter out though, adjust my shutter speed down. I'm at f11. I'm now at 1/25th of a second, ISO 100, because I want to get a sharp shot with the reeds. Oh, that's still looking good. I might just adjust the polarizer a little bit more. There we go, just to take a bit more sheen off that water and then fire again. Oh, that light! Yes. It's so exciting when this happens, so exciting. And I'm not sure in my time in Scotland here this week that I'm going to get much more chance to shoot on my own. So this is extremely exciting because it's so much better than I thought. I'm not even sure what to say really, because it's just so beautiful and the light now just looks fantastic. So I don't know, it feels like a reward, but I don't particularly think I've done anything that special other than to drive up here. So yeah, I guess I'm just lucky. Have a look though. So I'll tell you why I travelled 1,000 miles and discuss a little bit of the post-processing in a minute, but as you know, this video is sponsored by Lexar. Now this here is the Lexar Professional 2000X SD card, and it's by far the best SD card I have ever used, and it's been filming all of this content for at least the last few months now. It's fast at 300 megabytes a second read speed, 260 megabytes per second write speed, which is just going to be perfect for all your high quality 4K footage, your fast burst rate stills. If you're out in the field and you want to transfer stuff to a laptop, you want that to happen as fast as possible, and with this card you can do that. But Lexar also have a full range of cards to cover whatever your needs are, and yeah, they've literally never let me down, even when I dropped my camera and the memory card in the water in Wales. So yeah, go down to the link below, give Lexar some love for sponsoring this channel, and you will not be sorry when you pick up a brilliant SD card. So like I mentioned there, I didn't actually get a chance to do another shoot whilst I was in Scotland. I was there for another job, and making YouTube videos is not all I do, but it just turned into a really difficult week, and it was actually a little bit of a bust through nobody's fault. It's just the way it worked out. And then I found myself right at the north coast of Scotland with my car by myself without much of a plan. Traveling around in Scotland in the car gives you real good opportunities to photograph some of these absolutely stunning locations. But I struggle with doing photography like that. I struggle with that, building that connection with nature, which is the whole reason I do landscape photography. It's not just to get the shot, it's about making that connection with nature and getting that well-being up. And I think for me, it just gives me that meaning to life, really, to be out and about in the landscape like that. And when I look around all the images on my wall, almost all of them have involved getting away from the car, getting out on foot, and being in the landscape for a significant amount of time, building that connection, and then capturing whatever I see in front of me. So I just didn't want to really, be traipsing around in the car by myself, because I don't want to be traveling all that much in the car to get photographs. It's just not how I like to do it. It's different for everybody. I'm not saying there's one thing is right or wrong, but I had pressures to come home anyway, so travelled the 500 miles again back to Leeds. So yeah, it was a bit of a bust, but not a total loss, because I did end up with a shot that I was really happy with. I've had quite a few questions about my post-processing recently, and for this one, I started off by using my Sunset Rocks preset as a base, and then made a few more adjustments. And basically all it does is it desaturates a little bit, gives a sort of warm feeling to the image. It adds a fade to the blacks and puts in a bit of a vignette just to give that moody sort of sense to the image. You can get all of my presets if you subscribe to the Raw Room, and now as well, along with all the original content on there, these videos are going up in advance of going on YouTube, and they are ad-free and sponsorship-free. So if that sort of thing annoys you, you can subscribe to the Raw Room. Right, anyway, I'm now going to print that image because I think it's a good one, and I think it will be worth it. Right, so there we go then. I am absolutely thrilled with that. Well, it was a funny week last week, to be honest, for me, but to then come away with something like that is actually really satisfying, and I feel like it has been rescued. Was it worth travelling 1,000 miles for one image? Probably not, in all honesty, but yeah, when you get a piece of work in hand, this, I think, is what I'm going to remember rather than the difficulties and the challenges I faced last week. So, yeah, I don't really know what the message of this video is, but I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you on another one very, very soon. I'm Adam. This is First Man Photography, out.